All right.
Okay, good evening, welcome and talk community. Tonight we have an AMA with Librium Tech, here to talk about that, St. Jonathan, John and Dexter. So I suppose if we could just start with a bit of your background in crypto, yeah, that'd be great.
Yep, I'll start off with mine. For me, I've been in crypto for many years, from the beginnings of Bitcoin, with unfortunately, I kind of didn't buy enough. But we doubting at that point. And then after that, I kept on being into altcoins and all that at a later date. I'm a risk assessment financial advisor in real life, so I come mostly from the stock market. And now, of course, I wanted to get into something bigger, and I've been seeing the massive gains into crypto and getting more informed, and my own customers as well too, that are talking to me more and more about crypto. So I started getting more into it myself and researching it. Now, throughout those times, I've started BSC pretty much at the same time as SafeMoon, a little bit earlier than SafeMoon. I was actually implicated in, I was in SafeMoon's original days, the first days I actually bought and sold way too early, as many of us probably did. Now afterwards, I work for a Digital Fever, which is a very well-known marketing company, but as well too as a very strong knit community of investors, and we act a little bit like a family. But we do as well entire projects, from the launches, from the dev work, from the marketing in it, from the consultant work, from creating the communities as well too. And for that, I'm part of the core team as well too in Digital Fever. And I do vetting. So my job is to vet projects and make sure that the project is as safe as possible. I actually have a 100% track record on all my vets, which is extremely rare. Seriously, I've probably vetted over 100 different projects, if not more. So we have a very good reputation with that. Now, throughout this, of course, I've made lots of contacts, and I've met St. John. St. John told me about his vision. This guy's a visionary, a very good one. And out of all the projects I've seen, this is the only one in which I was actually willing myself to put my name into it. And since I vet projects and I have such a good record on that, it's very important for me as well too to get involved into a project in which the reputation would not be affected negatively in it. So safe is something in which had to be part of that project as well too. And we've made sure that this project is as safe as possible. So as being a vetting manager myself, well, I made sure that this project would never rug or get honeypotted in any way possible, that nobody can do that off of this. So that's pretty much my experience out of crypto.
And I guess I'll go next. I grew up trading stocks with my dad and stuff, and a lot of my friends over the last couple of years, made a ton of money in stocks and crypto. So eventually I jumped in crypto this year, a lot earlier in the year, and had a lot of bad experiences, to be honest, but I don't give up. I just kept trying, trading and learning. And, after a really, really, really bad rug, just a terrible situation that nobody saw coming, I lost a lot of money of mine and a friend of mine's, and, got so fed up. I saw all the different problems. I traded a lot over the year, and just saw the different things tokens were trying to do. And I guess one day I got so fed up with it that, I just said, I'm going to make my own token and I'm going to fix all these problems. And, that's where this whole idea came out of, is just having so many bad experiences. And, through those bad experiences, I guess you would almost say reverse engineering all of these ideas and things other people did, and building, what is Librium Tech today. And Dexter, do you want to talk or not tonight?
Yeah, definitely. So my background, I'm a little bit more technical. I have a computer science degree from a university in the U.S., the State University, Rutgers University, and I do a lot of the technical writing for SpaceM, which is the parent organization, and the token itself, which is Librium. So I have a lot of experience with the writing, the content, the organization of it, as well as handling the investments that we've been receiving. And recently, we just received about $550,000 in the past week since the private sale began.
Right, so we can go into the project. So it's space mining. You're adding miners to grow passive income for holders. What sort of cryptocurrencies are you looking at mining? And you're going to build up the rigs as you go along, yeah?
Correct. We're going to be starting off with Ethereum. We're also looking at Raven coin. We just got out of another conversation with some gentlemen, about looking ahead in the markets and potentially mining a coin that we were really bullish on. And we're going to talk to our vested members and community members as well. But initially Ethereum, and obviously we're preparing for the POS in several ways. And, if something becomes more profitable to mine, we're going to have software in place to switch to that.
Awesome. So what sort of mining rigs are you looking to purchase to begin with?
I am mostly, as soon as we're able to get them, the E9s. That's really what we're looking at doing it at 70% on, and then GPU miners as well, probably 70-30.
So I can go a little bit into the miners and the models. Obviously, we're looking at ant miners and silicons as far as it goes. For the ASIC miners, we're looking at a combination of those. And then as far as the GPU miners, we're taking a look at the NVIDIA RTXs, the CMPs. The exact models, obviously, we can get more into the specifications of them, but we are considering a combination of those two in ASIC miners and GPU miners.
Right, and then as you expand, there's only other project on an AMA with, in the mining space, which is a very interesting space to get into. Are you looking at warehouse space to host the rigs in the future?
We're actually gonna do it ourselves. I mean, if you mean hosting, we're not gonna hire a hosting company like Siberian or anything like that. We have somebody on our team that's gonna do that.
And then
that's why we're going ahead and incorporating and stuff like that. So
as you expand the rigs, would you'd house them? You wouldn't house them in a warehouse in the future, no?
We're looking into several different locations. Obviously, a very secure place, but I'm not going to tell everybody exactly where our operation is because that would not be intelligent.
Okay.
But in the United States, in the U.S.
So how many rigs are you looking at buying initially? Is that from private sale or the pre-sales that is going to raise the money?
I can go into the mining costs a little bit. So we'll be spending around $750,000 on the miners approximately. And obviously that'll be as a reflection of around 25 high-end miners, obviously with a favorable ROI, annual ROI, and ROI days.
Okay, cool. Have you got revenue put aside for that, or is that going to come from the launch and the pre-sale raise to start the rigs?
Sorry. Currently, we've raised around $550,000. So the private sale amount, a bulk of that will be going to the purchase of the miners.
Right, cool. So what was the soft cap, hard cap, or what was raised in the private sale? Just pure B&B, was it? Yeah.
The private sale really active.
If you allow me, Dex, appreciate it. For the actually for the private sale, the hard cap is 825,000. That's the hard cap for it. I've decided today to close the private sale at midnight tonight for anybody that wants to invest less than $5,000. So everybody that will be contributing starting tomorrow will need to go contribute onto the round 1 pre-sale, which is 440K hard cap. After that, the rest of the private will be kept for whales that will be vested, people that understand the project, community leaders, people with big connections and all that. From there, we'll be going into round 1, which is going to have a 1K minimum contribution and a 4K maximum contribution. From 2K to 4K, they will be vested for a period of 3 weeks, though.
Okay, so that's around 3 to 6 BNB, is it, minimum max on the first pre-sale? Yeah.
I would say 2 for the minimum, because for the first pre-sale is 1,000 BUSD. It's all in BUSD. So right now with the current that we're talking about, a little bit less than 2 BNB.
Yeah, got you. And then what will be the soft cap and hard cap on pre-sale 1 and 2?
But that's actually is on pre-sale 1. 2 is going to be 500 minimum, 500 BUSD minimum, and 2,000 maximum.
Oh, cool. But yeah, in dollar value, BUSD, what's the pre-sale 1 and 2 going to raise? Minimum max, yeah, soft cap, hard cap sort of thing, yeah.
Well, there's no soft cap. The hard cap is 440K for both, and we're definitely expecting to fill everything.
Okay, cool. That's great. And where are the pre-sales going to be? Is that Pink Sale or DX Sale? Or?
It's actually directly onto our own website. We have an in-house dev from Digital Fever that's doing the contract, so it's extremely safe view. You can contribute directly onto the website, onto our own platform, which goes into a contract for the private sale that is under a 5-signature multi-sig. So that will be all going towards there. So we might, however, do the final pre-sale under Moonforce, new project, new launching as well too, since we do have a deal with them as well.
Awesome. So yeah, so how many mining rigs are you looking at purchasing? There's a huge amount of money you're raising in the pre-sale and private sale. So yeah, it's going to be a big operation, I take it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
so we're talking 100 rigs, 1,000 rigs, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we're looking at continually scaling it. If we get really big, I would like to just acquire entire. If we could arrange something to acquire the entire building, that's like another company. That would be easier than building out again if we got to that level. But yeah, infinitely scaling the mining, side. That's how we're gonna reinforce the value of the token passively through passive rewards.
Okay. And what's the sort of a launch timeline and when Telegram will be up and running, and Twitter and everything at Librium Tech?
So we have Twitter. All our media pages are up. The Telegram is still private right now because we're hosting a private sale.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I didn't see that. So what you're looking for with the marketing going forward with Librium Tech and SpaceM?
Yes, for the marketing itself, we have a lot planned. Of course, today I've actually started to opening up the.
I think you've cut out there. Oh, wait a minute, you're back. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody muted me. Something happened. I got muted.
Yeah, I got muted too.
What the heck?
Right. Well, to answer your question about marketing, I've opened up the Discord and the TG with mods, in which we're working on building the team to make sure as well too that runs smoothly at a constant basis. We're also working as well too on every social media, which means Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. Since Digital Fever as well too is obviously a marketing company as well, we have many connections into the BSC world or in crypto in general, in and out of crypto as well too, with influencers that are known for crypto, but as well too influencers that are mainstream as well too. We have different strategies, and we are going to be using, of course, the normal strategies that are very well known to work, and trying as well too to implement any new strategy that would be different from any other project as well too. We do have a marketing budget as well that is going to be used appropriately, and I know what works and what doesn't work, and I'm not willing to put money into something that is not going to come out with any of positive outcome.
Okay, great. And how's the tokenomics going to work? Buys and sells. There's 2% reflections. Is that in the token, and then you've got the ETH rewards? What percentage would that be for investors?
For the launch itself, I can tell for the taxes, the tokenomics itself, the rest, I'll let St. John continue on that afterwards. For the launch, the taxes are going to be 10% and 10% sell all time. That's the regular tax. But for the first day, we're doing a 25% tax to sell. Off that 25%, the additional 15% will be going towards partly to liquidity and marketing. The second day will be moving down to 20%, then 15% on the third day, and finally we'll go down to our normal taxes of 10%. We have as well hard-coded 25% as the maximum tax ever, which means that it'll be hard-coded in the contract and can never be raised more than 25% for any reason.
Okay, so the contract's not renounced, so yeah, you can tweak things to benefit the investors and the project. So the 2% reflection will be in the SpaceMO Librium Tech, is it, tokens?
Correct. Yeah, that's right. A native token reflection.
And so how would the rewards work when you're mining the ETH for the investors? How's that going to be paid out?
Most likely that is going to be converted into another token, and like Bitcoin or something like that. There's going to be a DApp on the dashboard, so people can claim those rewards.
Okay, and are you looking at
staking pools? There's staking pools that do auto conversions for you. So,
and are you looking at an audit before?
Or not staking pools. I mean mining pools. Excuse me. I've been doing AMAs and talking about staking pools for the last hour.
Fair enough. And audit and docs team or anything before the launch for the audit? Yeah.
My picture's on my profile, and I've openly shared who I am and not trying to hide it. As long as nobody tries to, creep on my mom or something. I think the whole team's willing to dox. We're not trying to hide our identities.
Everybody on the core team definitely will be doxed.
Awesome. So going back to ETH rewards with the mining, how will it be shared among investors? Would that, like the reflections you get in SpaceM or Librium Tech?
Right. So
what's the percentages that would be there for the investors?
We have a very unique structure, and that's why it works. The way the reflections or the mining rewards are going to be distributed out is, at first there's going to be phase 1, and that's going to be to the top 100 holders. And then phase 2, we're going to distribute rewards to the top up to 500 holders. And then phase 3 up to the top 1,000. And then we're going to continue adding on to those rewards and doubling those rewards infinitely. So ever increasing mining rewards. So I was talking to somebody and I was like, hey, if everyone sold all of this token, would it be worth anything? And they said, of course not. no token would be. And I said, except ours, because that the position of owning that wallet will actually have a real dollar value to it because of the passive reward stream that's going to be coming into it. And that's going to be encouraging people to get up in those positions. But then again, for the little people, if you have a smaller investor, we have a very, very, very cool staking platform set up that doesn't allow the top 100 holders to come into it. And when you couple that with the way that we're burning off 40% of the supply, and you're only going to see 40% or 45% initially of the supply, because we as a team take almost 5%, 4.5%, and then we have a staking and exchange wallets as well. So those aren't going to be inside. And then you're going to have the vested members, which, let's say it's 5 or 10%. So at launch, you're going to be seeing between the PCS and all the holders and the top holders, maybe 35%. So when you have a good staking platform that takes those top 100 wallets out, as those holders start increasing their position, a lot of tokens, I think 20 to 25% of the total supply could be in the top 100 holders. That's not, I've seen that. It's not outrageous, especially with the whale reflections up at top. So you're going to be seeing people get a very high APYs, and we're also going to be doing simulated mining through the staking platform over 7 years. That's going to kind of go up and down like a pyramid over that time, and going to bring back that originally burnt supply over the first 40 days back into the market over that 7 years. And that is going to be done through longer term staking. So we have a very long term plan for how we're going to really increase the token price and generate a lot of excitement for people. So I can keep going if you want to hear about the whale reflections, or if you have.
That's awesome. Yeah. Is there going to be a maximum wallet then for the top 100 holders?
Correct.
How's that going to work? Yeah.
It's going to be 5%. But if 2 people get 5%, then they're going to infinitely split those last day whale reflection rewards. So, if you and I'm actually not allowed to. All the people on the team are not allowed to hold in the top wallet at all, or max out at 5%. So no team members allowed to do that. And our wallets are going to be locked for a year, our dev wallet. And, we're playing by the same rules that everybody else is. So it's...
Right. So you're keeping 40% aside, so there wouldn't be able to be more than 100 wallets with the 5% max.
Well, you couldn't. That would be obviously 500%. So the idea is you could lock down that first top wallet position, but when the higher, as people are trying to secure their position to stay in these high reflection rewards that we have for the top holders, it's gonna a lot of the supply is going to get taken from the bottom, but a lot of it's burnt or not on. So it's really going to squeeze down on the PCS or the Pi swap, and the entire token. It's not just the mining rewards, and that's why I've had to keep explaining to people. That's just one piece of it. It's how all of it works together, because the supply distribution is just as important. We're burning more tokens really in 40 days than Everrise did in 6 months, all without spending any of your money. So I've looked at a lot of other projects and saw where they got slowed down, what was happening, and then just, went a slightly different direction. So it's all very carefully orchestrated together to encourage people to go into that staking platform. But those guys in that staking platform are going to have such a high APY, and especially when they start receiving these simulated token reflections, everybody's going to be staking, but they're going to have to stake for a long time to get those. And that's going to take that sell pressure off the chart. So it's all kind of orchestrated in a way that you're going to see explosive pressure at the beginning, partially because we're loading out the router with 60% of the tokens that are going to get loaded are initially going to get loaded at 60%, and then every minute after that, we're going to load 2 more percent in until we get to be 100% of those tokens. So you're going to see, initial, chart action that's very strong, maybe per dollar, maybe 4 times stronger than what you normally see on a loadout where they just put everything in and don't think about this stuff. But one of the cool things I want to go in is we're actually going to be pairing in BUSD and waiting for the market crashes. And we're doing this because if you look at Evergrande in China and stuff like that, I mean, maybe it'll come early this year. But we're going to ride that wave back up every year. And we're going to see when it gets high, we're going to start repairing into BUSD. And then after it crashes, we're going to go in BNB. And hopefully we'll see around a 300 to 600% net increase every year. And that's because we're not completely locking our liquidity wallet, but we're still staying safe because Digital Fever has a master key to where if we need to repair, do something with the liquidity, we have a checks and balances system that we have to go through our multi-sig. So, we have, and we're looking at launching on hopefully 4 exchanges in the first week. We'll see if that happens. So don't hold me to that. We're going to try to do it. And, we have a lot of things going on for exposure. There's some things I won't say yet because I haven't locked them down, but, we want to go big, probably bigger than people are used to, but we'll see what happens. But every time you buy and sell on our chart, the mine is going to grow. So we're going to have an ever increasing value that's something physical, kind of like a real company that's growing. We're going to have a real company that's growing and having an infrastructure that's supporting and reinforcing this token. And that hasn't been done before. So that's why we're called Librium. People are going to feel Librium is actually a medication given to people to help them with their anxiety. And people have so much anxiety, they can't sleep. They're wondering if they're going to lose all their money when they wake up. And I felt that. So I wanted to create something that people, really, if you're making money, typically somebody else is losing money. The chart goes up and comes back down. The way the liquidity pools are structured, if you put some money in and you took out more, then somebody else somewhere is putting in more and taking out less. And I wanted to create something that people would keep winning and everybody would be winning. So, people might lose at some time, but if you hold the value of this underlying value because of the increasing mining rewards, is going to continue rising over time. And those wallets will have a real value that cannot be taken. And, I think when people feel that, it's gonna really change the whole game of cryptocurrency in the future through the position-based tokenomic structures that we've designed.
Awesome, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, my maths was terribly off there. I was probably thinking of a rebase token or something where everyone could have 500%. But you've got 100 people in the top, so yeah, you'd have like maybe 5 or 10, 5%, and then 0 point something percent could be in the top 100. But is that going to be an advantage to the private sale? How many people have got involved there, or the pre-sale 1 and 2? They're going to get them top positions and just diamond hold? No,
it's not going to be. They're going to have to do a lot of buying pressure on the chart to get up there. There's a lot of 25 Kers, and there's a lot more that I know that are probably going to come afterwards. So it's that's in relation to the volume. Obviously, it's the volume. If the volume is 500K a day, that top holder through that one reflection stream will receive 7,500. But 5% is a lot, and you have to remember that we're burning 40% at first, and then you have another 15% that's not going to be involved. So if they're holding 5%, that is almost like having 10% of the total left to oversupply. So they're really going to have to fight for that. So when you see how the way we're loading out the PCS at first, well, it'll be the router basically at first, you're going to see a very high increase of price. Not to mention we're going to have some of the best anti-sniper bots software reverse engineered from Bogged Finance. So when you look at all that, people aren't going to be able to buy in real cheap and secure that position, it's going to cost them a lot of money and probably take quite a bit of time to get anywhere close to 5%. And it's not like we're launching at a much higher market cap, probably 2.7 or $3 million. So, and that buy pressure as people reach towards that is going to create a healthy chart, and that healthy chart is going to attract more investors. So it's all orchestrated together to explode us off the launch and keep us going afterwards, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think it could go huge. I thought maybe if you had sort of max wallet at 2%, there'd be a lot more fighting at the top, and maybe expand it to a few hundred investors that can get involved with the mining. Would create the FOMO to get people competing and diamond handing the project in the future. 5% seems very high.
Yeah, I think I wanted that whale war to go on as long as possible. I wanted, most likely, I don't think you'll see more than 1 or 2 people get up to that percentage with where it's going to be at. I don't think you'll see 3. But here's the cool part. If you did see 3 people that got there in the first year and we're splitting those top end reflections, that's 15%. And that's something, those people are up there sitting, just taking that money. They're not selling. That's a lot of the supply that's kind of off the market, if you will. And that's going to squeeze the PCS even further. So no matter how that really worked out, the more people you got near that range, the more it's gonna, because on the other end, you have the little guys in that staking platform. It's going to be very expensive to buy our token pretty soon. So it's all orchestrated together. We thought of everybody. A lot of people are talking about having multiple wallets. I think that's a great idea. And if everyone has 2 wallets, it's going to look like we have twice as many holders. That's not bad for us. I do want to try to figure out some way where I don't want to count dust wallets. That's really annoying to me. It throws everything off. Lots of people are like, oh, we have 80,000 holders. I'm like, you've gotten 40,000 more holders over the last 3 months and your price has gone down. What's going on? And it's because people come out and they leave and there's a little dust in there. And, I would like to see if we can fix that so we give our investors a very accurate representation of what's happening, in relation to holders.
Awesome, yeah. And have you got anti-whale and anti-bot features built into the contract?
When you say anti-whale, what do you mean?
It's just where they can't dump an X amount of the tokens. It's spread over hours or days, where they can only sell so much of their wallet type thing. And
absolutely, if you allow me to, I'll pitch in on this one. Everything that I do with the pre-sale and the launch is thought as well to have the most successful launch possible. So in other words, that's why that the whales are vested. Now, their vesting periods as well too, I don't want them to feel as well taken hostage for their money. So the way that it works is that all the vested people will start getting their tokens 1 week after launch on a drip down of a daily basis. So for example, somebody that even put in 25K, he's vested for 2 months for 8 weeks total. He's going to start getting tokens after 1 week, but only daily. So daily, that the 25K is worth divided by the amount of days. So it's going to be small amounts. So it doesn't allow for big dumps at those points, unless, of course, he accumulates them for a longer period of time and then dumps a bigger amount. But as well, the marketing and all that will be in, and the chart will be a lot higher. So it's going to have less of an impact at that point, and he's going to lose his position and everything that he gains from just staying there. As well, too, I've made a way to get a proper vested versus non-vested because I do want some kind of a dump. It's normal. A chart that doesn't dump doesn't allow new investors to come in at a cheaper price and try to get in. A lot of people, smart investors will wait for a red chart and not a green one before buying. So it's okay to have one, but it can't be too much of a big one. So that's why the bigger whales are vested and taken care of. I'm also hand selecting who actually has access to that kind of money. So even the ones, for example, that want to put in 4,500 right now, and they won't be vested with that, it's very few, and I'm very hand picking them as well too, allowing maybe one of them that might be dumping, but it's not. You have to take in consideration all of that. You have to still can't take them all hostage, but allow them to get in there. Other than that, well, we got the higher tax to avoid dumps as well too on the first day. It's better for them to keep on going as well. We're also going to have incentives for diamond hands. People that will diamond hand through day one through a longer period of time, not determined right now what that time is, but we will have different gifts for them. Could be airdrops, could be lotteries, could be rigs, could be a lot of different things. But we definitely will be compensating our diamond hand holders.
Okay, great. That's cool. And with you're building a staking vault, what will the timeline be for that launching on, when you hit Pancake Swap or a few weeks after? And how will that work? Is it going to be locked, unlocked, and time periods if it's locked? Yeah.
Yep. For the staking, I do want it to be available on launch, and possibly even maybe a day or two before. So the people to kind of create a additional vested periods as well too, for the ones that do want to profit from it and profit from the first taxes as well too. Now it will be 4 different ones. It's going to be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year for staking. Because I do believe that we will be getting people that want to stake for an entire year on this project. This is a real project. Our own team tokens are vested for a year for a good reason. We have no plans into taking that any time earlier. We really don't care about it before. It's going to be a long-term project. It's a project in which we even have multiple years into our roadmap. So that will be for the staking.
Okay, awesome. And what's the staking bonuses? Will they get reflections in your token or in ETH? How will that work?
Yeah,
St. John, go on that. Yeah.
Yeah, the staking is going to be in our own token. We are going to do an Ethereum bridge, and I would like the tokens that I guess are the simulated mining tokens to be in Ethereum. It's still, our developer is doing all that right now, in-house developer from Digital Fever. So, it's definitely going to have a lot of cool features and things that you have, never seen before on another token. But the whale reflections are going to be in a featured coiner token, and the regular staking platform is going to give our native token. I structured it in a way where we're going to be banging on the chart as little as possible. That's why, the taxes are a little lower. We're not trying to hold anybody hostage. Everything I hated about what happened to me over the last, 8 months trading is, things I changed for this project. I don't want to force people to stay if they want to buy and sell and try to make some money. I mean, that's what it's all about. If you don't want to make money, then I don't know why you're here. But, I'm encouraging people to trade our token. I would like, if somebody did sell and they left, them to feel good and want to come back. We're not going to treat them bad or hate anybody that leaves or sells. I'm like, you got to trade and do what you got to do for your life. And we're definitely, it's going to be a lot different than a lot of other communities. We're not scared of other projects or, stuff like that. We have a project that's good enough and solid enough that I'm even open to the idea of, if we find some other good startup projects of, getting them some exposure in the future. So
you could open, staking up to other projects in the future. That would be great. Yeah. And so it's launching on the BSC, I take it, and then you're looking at bridging over to the Ethereum blockchain in the future. Yeah.
We might actually have that bridge done before launch if there's a possibility. We'll see.
Okay. Right, I think I can open it up to the community or the team. Anyone's got a question for St. Jonathan, John, or Dexter?
Yeah, I got a question. So, you mentioned the distribution phases is going to be first to the first 100 top wallets, and then you'll move to the next 500 or something. Is that like on a timeline, or how are you going to adjust that, or is it like based on volume, or yeah, how's that going to work?
Yeah, it's as soon as we have the money to, we're going to buy the next miners. That's if you're like, where's your focus? It's on aggressively scaling the mining operation. That's what we want to do. So if we have a great launch, I mean, in that first week, phase 2 and we might be loaded out through phase 3, or have the miners ordered at least in that first week. If the volume continues increasing and things go very, very well, I mean, we could see that doubling, within a month or two, and continuing to double after that. So as those rewards start growing and people are like, hey, even if there's no volume, I'm going to get, and let me back up. The problem with rewards tokens is that they're so expensive that they reduce the volume. I've seen rewards tokens move from $1 million a day to $3,000 a day. In fact, the next day in volume, it's pretty crazy. So it's not consistent, and it really dissuades people. And when you get hit with 40% tax on the way out, after they told you, oh, the taxes are 2020, and it's not 2020, and you're getting hit like that, you're never going to buy in that token again. You're going to have a real bad feeling. You're going to leave. And that's why, I mean, if you look closely at rewards tokens that have high taxes, sometimes they'll come out of the gate real strong. But it's like a lot of other tokens, they start waning, and it's hard for them they're banging on the chart so hard with those contract sales. It's really difficult to see that price go up. So, it's, we're going a different route, but we're having a real inherent value, kind of like Coca-Cola. There's a facility, there's an actual place, they have an actual product. We're going to have our own merch line. We're going to do a lot of things, and not just get some company to stick a little stamp of something and be like, oh, here's another knockoff that this item's just like 100 other coffee cups that you saw. It's, our stuff is going to be like boutique, really nice.
Yeah, if I could hop in here as well and just add on to that. This is Dexter, and I just want to say, obviously, we look at different reward structures for the holders, but we also look at different profit structures for the company. We consider things like renting the miners, leasing them. Obviously, we're going to have space with the warehouse. So if holders decide that maybe they want to buy one of our miners, we can have it there, and they can receive the mining rewards while we maintain it for them at a cost.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds, because when volume's high, like reward tokens, you can be buying mining rigs, and then if volume's low, you can be rewarding ETH to the investors, and then when volume's high, obviously they're getting reflections in the token as well. So it covers all sorts.
Yes, exactly. And it's not going to just be volume that determines what will happen to the value of the token. The token will be supported by this backbone, by this infrastructure of hardware, this infrastructure of cryptocurrency miners.
Yeah. So you were saying, how far along are you? How many devs have you got working on the staking platform?
John, do you want to answer that?
Sorry, I messed responding.
Yeah, so I can jump in. I can jump in on that. And let me just tell you, staking platforms, a lot of people think that there's, a lot of things that are really difficult that need to be done in order to code it. But we launched our website on Monday, and a day after, we had a coded PHP private sale address where people could contribute, and they linked their wallets onto the site. Staking and the feasibility of it is not in question. It's just when we want to do it.
We're trying to have all that live at launch. I'm not Our target date is for mid-December. Our dev is very fast. Usually when we say something that we want done, it's a matter of minutes, not days. So all these people are used to working together because they're in Digital Fever. So it's, familiar faces working with familiar faces. The rate of speed that we're moving at is very, very fast.
Awesome. And what's the size of the team, the core team, and then the devs and the admins you're going to be working on the project in the future?
So if I could talk about the size of the team, it's not just, the core team. It's not just the developer. We're in partnership with Digital Fever, and Digital Fever has their own experienced marketing team that has launched tokens, and they've done everything from the ground up. The core team, obviously, and everything that we've been doing, we're composed of 7 members, including a mining team, including graphic designers, and everything and everyone who's a part of the team. It's not just the core members, it's also Digital Fever, it's also the administrators, the moderators. It's almost more than 20 people.
Great. And if we could just touch on the marketing again after launch, what's the plans in the marketing?
So the marketing, and as far as I think obviously our CMO here, Chief Marketing Officer John from Digital Fever, and Compliance Officer is the head of all the marketing. He's in charge of it, and he has a lot of things planned. Now, I can't tell you, everything that's going to be coming out, but obviously we're considering the appropriate listings and exchanges at the right time. And as far as keeping the volume up, well, Digital Fever is a professional marketing organization that built the contract for Sportamont Go. So they have large marketing plans. They're ready to implement them. It's basically like having a marketing company whenever you have any questions. And obviously the budget is built for that marketing infrastructure, those marketing campaigns, so that when the time comes, when volume's at a point where maybe the volume's a little lower, maybe we want a little bit more exposure, we know the right channels to tap into at the right time.
Just to touch on that, a couple nights ago, instead of looking at just like shilling and stuff, we do have shillers, really good ones. We do have bots, all that stuff, and social media. We're also making, because of our structure is pretty complicated, I know that, we're creating videos that are going to have really good animations that explain all this with depictions in multiple different languages. One of our guys on the team speaks French as his first language, another one speaks Spanish. So we are looking also to go into the Chinese community. We just had a meeting with David Gogenstein from G Media, and we're looking into working with them to really brand what we're doing. So when people see Librium Tech, it'll be like, when you see Ethereum, ETH, Lib, we're looking at branding like that 100%. So, I don't want to say everything, but there's some very exciting. We have some very, very cool connections. There's a lot of people that are, larger in the crypto space, crypto influencers that are already looking at a project. And I've agreed to docs for a magazine article around launch, but I can't say which one. But I think it's gonna hit all around the world. So it's definitely, that's why we say join the revolution. We're really here to change how all these cryptocurrencies operate. You're going to start seeing people try to fork us, but copy us in different ways. It's going to be really hard to do something similar to what we've done with our contract. We have 8 multi-contract system working together. So I think that's going to be a little much for most people. So, I would say this is a once-in-a-lifetime token, a once-in-a-lifetime crypto. You're not going to see another one of these.
So John from Digital Fever, is it a partnership then with them, or just John will be working with the project? Yeah.
With Digital Fever itself, it's a partnership in this case. Now, of course, I work for both. Now with Librium, I'm part of the core team as well in Librium. So this is also my project with St. John, with Dexter, with 7 total core members. We are core team members of the entire project. Digital Fever, since I am also a core member of Digital Fever, I know what Digital Fever has to bring. And since I have a lot of confidence into the communities as well too, like I was saying earlier, if I'm going to be in it, it's important that it's as safe as possible. So because of that, we did do an official partnership with Librium, which means that's why we have our dev on it. That's why it's going to be a long-term project. That's why it is as safe as possible for Digital Fever, as safe as possible for Librium, and as safe as possible for every single investor in the project. So that partnership will keep on going long-term. And since, of course, I do have my foot in both, I do keep on getting my connections in both, which means that I can always have access to everything that is known in marketing as well. So that's why. And the only times in which Digital Fever has ever put their name officially on something is with Sportmongo and Ultimo GG. And the only reason for that is the only time they will do that is if their own dev does the work, because they know it cannot rug. There's no way it can rug. There's no way that they can be had with that. There's no way there could be any problems with that. They've done every single possible verification possible into it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you carry on, Dex. It's okay.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I just want to make a point here and say that, as a member on the core team, I'm very proud to be working in coordination and partnership with Digital Fever. The things that they have been able to, bring to the table, I never could have imagined, and how responsive they are. The developer work, everything is very organized. Like, if you had an idea in your mind about a project, or you had a difficulty understanding how to code a certain piece of the tokenomics, we sit down, we discuss ideas, and then we get it done, and we turn it into production.
And so will there be an audit before the Pancake Swap launch and white paper? When will that be coming?
We've talked about it. We're obviously going to go through the coding very thoroughly, but I would like to get a CertIC audit before launch. Sometimes we'll see how long it would take and how much money it would cost. But I don't know if we'll have, if we can, we will. I would love to. But our developer is very, very good. So everything's going to be functioning correctly when we launch.
Yeah. And, obviously audits are important. At the same time, I've seen projects launching, and these projects are just forks of other existing contracts, and they throw a CertIC audit, or they throw any audit on it. And, the value of that audit, it's really not as much as who is on the team, who's responsible for the contract. And I think, the combination of those two things, of the Digital Fever team and their ability to create the contract, and obviously the audits that we'll get, is just a fusion of great teamwork, great potential, people that know how to make a contract, how to handle marketing, and how to maintain the growth so that the project keeps growing and the holders keep growing, and the investments that the investors are always looked at.
Awesome, yeah. And so if investors want to get involved, we're on to pre-sale 1 now, are we? And then there's a pre-sale 2. Where would they go? How can they get involved and get in on these pre-sales? Yeah.
So they can message Dexter at CXO Space M, and that's Chief Experience Officer. So you don't have to go look it up online. But or you can message at John_the_man and message them. They'll get your wallet fixed up, and then you can go online to our portal and connect your wallet and go right ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah, so go ahead.
You're all right, Dempsey. Yeah, you guys.
Okay, thank you. You're so kind. And, just to go into a little bit more detail, like the technical understanding of where we are now, private sale is active. You can buy private sale today.
Is it still going on?
Today's the last day that we're going to be accepting private sale contributions under $5,000. So if you want to get in and, maybe you're not that big of a whale, but you can still contribute 1K, 3K, you can get in today. But tomorrow, the minimum amount starting will be 5K for the private sale. And how it works is basically it's a whitelisted private sale. So what does that mean, whitelisted private sale? It means basically your wallet address has to be in the website so that when you go to put in your contribution, you link your wallet, obviously your wallet is whitelisted and you're allowed to. So to get your wallet whitelisted, you can message me at CXO_M, or you can message CMO John, and his TG handle is at John_the_man. And you can just message us, say, hey, I want a whitelist spot. I want to get into this. We'll give you a whitelist. And as far as the private sale goes, once you're whitelisted, you just go to the website. That's Librium.tech. That's all it is. The website name is Librium.tech. And then you can go to where it says buy private sale at the top right. After you've been whitelisted, you sync your wallet. After you sync the wallet, you click accept. That'll accept the contract. You put in your contribution amount, you hit contribute, and you're in.
Awesome. So what's the timeline for the pre-sale after the private sale tonight? People can still get in. And then the second pre-sale, and then the launch to PancakeSwap. What we're looking at timeline,
John, do you want to take that? And we're probably going to be launching on the. There's a possibility we could be getting featured for the Moonforce platform. So we're supposed to actually meet with Dev Team 6 tonight. So yeah, we'll definitely be keeping everybody updated. But most likely they'll be on that PiSwap router. It's going to work better than the PCS. John, are you there?
I'm there. Can you please repeat the question, Glenn? I'm working in the background.
I was just asking sort of after the private sale tonight, investors still get involved. Pre-sale 1, pre-sale 2, and PancakeSwap launch. What's the timeline for when it goes live on PancakeSwap?
Absolutely. It should be mid-December is our objective. However, though, we're not in a hurry. If everything is not perfect, if the contract is not perfectly tested, that the staking is too far away, for example, the miners are not completely set up the way that we want them. If anything like that is in jeopardy of not getting that launch as properly as possible, we are open to putting that date a little bit later. But the December date, I'm pretty sure mid-December sounds about right. I'm not too worried about that date, to be honest.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good month to launch. And after the private sale, will you start purchasing the mining rigs ready for December, and then the pre-sale 1 and 2?
We're already looking into all that. We're already going to be doing that in the meantime. We got the funds right now already starting up. We're trying to find the best options before going into getting them all set up.
Okay, awesome. And
sorry, Glenn.
Yeah, go on.
Just a small question. So regarding the assembly and then like the maintenance and everything for the tech, are you going to do that in-house? Do you have a team for that, or are you going to outsource it? How's that going to work?
Let me introduce as well Witch Doctor, which is our mining expert. He can actually tell you about the part that is going to be for the maintenance of the miners themselves.
Hey guys, I'm not as personable as these ones. I probably talk all day in court chat, but I like to ramble, so I'll just make this one quick. Yeah, we are going to be doing everything in-house. It just makes more sense rather than outsourcing it. Maintenance is general. We're factoring in about 10% for our maintenance, depending on what miners. That again, we're being really calculated. I've been scouting locations with my ops manager. So it's just a matter of everything coming together. We're not rushing it. It's going to fall into place just like a puzzle piece. So looking forward, we're going to try to be at a fully operational by launch. Was I think Jonathan's goal.
Well, I was saying we are gonna be fully operational at launch. That's what I said.
Yeah, exactly. That's my goal. So operational at launch and rolling, and then from there, I just figure it's building miners every day. So we're like you said, we're going to be unlimited scaling, assembling rigs for all kind of different purposes, not just rigs for the token itself, but rigs for people to purchase, people to have branded items. There's some other stuff in development, but I don't want to give too much away. We really have to iron that stuff out before we can, put it out there for you.
All right, cool. Thank you. Yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Awesome. And have you got sources for the rigs? There's always sort of supply and demand problems with the mining rigs. Have you got something in place to get it up and going? Yeah.
So I just had a meeting with one of the there's a president of a big company, and we know a lot of people, and we have several options right now that we could take. It's not really a matter of not having any options. It's a matter of I'm trying to take the absolute cream of the crop. So we could start tomorrow. That is not an issue. It's more of I'm a person that instead of rushing in decisions and out of fear or something, I like to kind of have a nice pace. And like when I was looking for a developer, I met with several developers, just developer after developer after developer. And I didn't have a warm and fuzzy. I was like, maybe they could have coded the contract. But then I met the best possible developer I could have met that broke this thing up and is doing it in a way, it was very good that I waited. Same thing with the lawyer. Just you can look into something, but that doesn't mean you have to jump into it. It's not going to fly away in a couple of days. So, we're taking the same approach that we've taken with everything with the mining operation. And to be honest, it wasn't even 35 days ago that I actually conceptualized this. I think it's like maybe 30 days ago. I had this idea by myself. I didn't have a team. And, even though we haven't rushed into anything, our pace has been so fast that we're already here and have all this accomplished. So when you start looking at the team and how much we've done in this amount of time, we're moving at light speed compared to other projects. And, sometimes people are like, I wish this project was out, but we don't let that, pressure or people want us to launch before the end of the month. I'm like, hey, it takes a little bit more time to do something right, but everyone's going to benefit so much more, on the other end. And, launching in mid-December is fast. It's very fast. So that's the date we're targeted for. I do think we'll hit it.
The perfect time to start mining as well. December to maybe March this year. The past Christmas, as it was booming, Bitcoin and ETH and everything, so that's a great time.
We're also bullish on
started, So the bull run going,
Hey, question, guys. So I just sent a certain amount to the pre-sale. I got whitelisted, but so do I just wait now and wait for like an airdrop of the tokens and wait for the address to come out, the contract address, or?
So if you put more than 5K, we actually are giving a package to everyone that does. So you're going to get a hoodie, a shirt, a Space M shirt, a hat, a mask, and maybe some stickers and some other stuff. That's just from us to you for free. And so we might contact you about that, which is actually working with the supplier right now. And I found a hoodie that I loved online. I made him buy it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, hey, I want to give, something that I enjoy wearing to everybody else. So, it's definitely very selective, picked out things.
Yeah.
John?
Go ahead, John.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, to answer your question simply, yes, you will be getting airdrops, and your airdrop will be before launch. It's going to be either the like couple of hours later before or whatever, but you're definitely going to be getting your tokens before the actual launch. Everybody's going to have their airdrops before the launch happens. That's for sure. That's a must for everybody. As well, every vested person will keep on getting reflections and rewards in coordination to how well they are up there, even if they're vested. That is also hard-coded in the contract that I definitely want done. That is 100%. Nobody's going to be penalized because they're vested. As well, that's what St. John was saying too, is that's going to be many rewards. There'll be lotteries for rigs for vested people. There's going to be as well possibly airdrops for the vested people that are going to be diamond handing the project. So we have a lot in works as well too for those people. So everybody that puts in, for example, 4,500 and is hesitating to put that extra 500 because they don't want to be vested right now, do know that everything is going to be in the works, that if you're vested, you're going to actually profit from that in the long run, big time.
Perfect. Thanks. Also, you know, I sent 1,000, but can I, since I was whitelisted before the time, can I add to that late? Like, say I want to add to that tomorrow or something. Would I be able to add to it by connecting my wallet?
You can add 5,000 more starting tomorrow. So in other words, if you put in 1K today, you can only put in 5K tomorrow or more.
Okay.
But however, though, once that is done, once you're up to that 5K, then you could put in 1K at a time. That's not a problem because you've already contributed to the minimum at that time. However, though, let's say you want to put in another 1,000 only, you'll have to DM me directly, and I'll decide if I allow it or not.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and a lot of it is, you know, today there's deadlines, right? Today is the last deadline for contributing less than 5K. Tomorrow, the minimum starting is 5K.
Got you.
Sounds good. So
it's 5K tomorrow for the private though. The round one, that's going to be open, and you can put in 1,000 there.
So John, how much do they save percentage-wise by buying in private?
Private right now it's 10%. Tomorrow it's 5%, and the last round is going to be launch price. The last round right now, the minimum is 500 that I've put it, and the maximum is 2,000. This is not set in stone. However, though, once I put something up and you contribute, I'm willing that's like a contract to me. You're signing up a contract right there to actually that's under your terms, so those terms are fine. But that 500 to 2,000 for the last round could be a little bit higher, could be a bit lower. I'm thinking about 250 as a minimum, but not set in stone. I'll see at that point, and I might put the maximum lower than 2,000 as well. So I'll see.
Great. So, and Dexter, I guess you're going in on this as well, Max Wallet.
100%. I'll be putting in the full 25K vested.
All right, and I actually am as well. I already have. So
yeah, no, yeah.
I wanted to say that just till a couple of days ago, I had funded everything, and so have the other team members out of pocket. A couple of days ago, you know, I couldn't keep funding the whole project, and neither could some of the other guys out of pocket. So we've spent less than $10,000 of investors' money to date, and everything is locked, safe, you know, checks and balances, and we're making sure that we, you know, honor everybody else that way. So Digital Fever has that master key, and if we want to take out liquidity, we have to go through an approval process. And the Digital Fever Deb is actually going to be the one launching the contract. So that's going to be, you know, completely done in-house.
Well, like Sportmongo and Ultimo GG, so there's no problems there, and we're sure that all the airdrops are done properly and everything's done properly since they've done it hundreds of times. For the finances, exactly. I'm a financial advisor in real life, so I definitely understand numbers, and I'm a little bit of a cheapskate as well. But at the same time, I want quality, so I'll pay for something that's worth it. but I don't spend money easily without approval. So I do have also a final word too for a lot of the finances into where it goes, and everything is registered, every penny, every dollar, exactly where it went, for what it went, so everybody can trace, and there'll be no problems within the core teams or anywhere else as well too. Everything is going to have a justification.
I'm right. Well, I was hoping we could have some more questions from some more people listening. If there's anybody.
We're running about an hour and 10. It's normally about an hour of the AMA.
Okay.
But I don't think any more questions. So if we could wrap that up. If anyone's got any questions that's listening to the recording afterwards, we share that across the BSC and here in our community. We'll give you the official Telegram to head over to Librium Tech. But that's private at the moment. When will that go public, Telegram, by the way, John? Yeah.
Should be very soon. We're looking at that, but it'll be very soon. Right now it's still private, but in the next couple of days we should open that up.
Awesome. Yeah, if you can post that in our chat, and then we've got the official Telegram for our investors to head over there and get involved. If you listen to the recording and got any questions, when their Telegram opens, we'll give you the official Telegram, send you over there. With all AMAs, we support projects afterwards, so you're welcome to keep us updated with the pre-sales and the Pancake Swap sale, Pancake Swap launch. Yeah, it's getting late here in the UK as well. 20 past 1 in the morning.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
I just sent you, Glenn. I just sent you the link for Telegram, and one of those, by the way, on the when it says mobile version there that I sent you, it says you posted the second page, but there's the first one on the left-hand side. If you could forward that too, it has the information for the other part of the contribution. And John, could you forward Glenn the updated one that you wrote out today?
I posted that in the text chat for anyone that wants to get into the private sale or pre-sale. The first one, awesome.
I have to just jump off a little early here. I have to review some of the information, but I just want to say thank you for having me. Thank you for having the team.
No, it's great. Yeah, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, an exciting project. Looking forward to the future for Librium Tech and the pre-sale and the launch. It's really promising for the BSC, and then the ETH bridge. Will be awesome for the project in the future. And it's looking great. I'm sure many of our investors will get involved. Thank you very much for coming, guys.
Yeah, it's been great. I had a good time, and I'll see you guys around.
Yep. Awesome. I'll send over a copy to you to share in the Telegram when it opens, and market that, and then I'll pin that with our community. We've got Twitch and YouTube coming in later on, recordings as well, and I'll just send the Telegram one over to start with. Thanks very much, guys. Take care.